It's like James.
No, thank you. I don't even know how to use them. I can get in a meeting. Oh. There's also others. There's 4, we need 1 more.
Yep.
And it can't be Will. Will, oh, right. Can't count.
It's transferred through.
Yeah.
How are you helping with set building at all? Or
Yes.
how's it going?
It's going well. We did most of it. Just some final touches this weekend, and I think we got everything that's up on the rigging. And there's just some painting final touches for the kids to do on that stuff. And then final prop stuff, but going for a few hours on Saturday.
For a while.
For the
Oh, yeah, Bruce is something like yesterday.
Mhm.
When is it? I don't even know when it is. I don't even know what they're doing. Like Bruce was like, I'm staying late today. I'm like,
Little Mermaid.
Weekend of November,
Little Mermaid.
or the
Not
weekend
the-
after that.
I think the
Is it Little Mermaid or like Little Mermaid Junior?
Little
Yeah, I think it's
Little
Junior.
Mermaid.
Which is always
No.
name when they have like a junior.
Yeah, no seashell.
Yeah. Full guard.
Well, Beth was working on some when I left, and she's got it laid out.
Yeah.
And you know, she's working at Triton. I'm like, oh, looks really good, Moana.
She was like, oh, great. And then they like swirled it. No, she had like a leaf. Did you miss the skirt one? I was in. Okay. But I was like, we're not doing that part. So now I know. So you can make a modified version. Here we are. It's not terrible. I know, but her dad can be like, yeah. We're still not gonna do this. So I don't think we're not gonna be able to do this. Yeah. So I'm gonna do this part of the page. Perfect. And then for the this part. That's adorable. The blow up charts. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. The shark, I would wear that shark costume. Well, that's why I was like, why do you have to be Katy Perry? Because now I have a costume and nobody else does. But you should make the other parents make her costumes. I saw one of the moms say, she's like, I just ordered the shark costume. Oh my god. She also put that though as a with that dress on. Over the shark costume. I'm good. I'm good. That's what really is.
When there are more than like 10 minutes. Then they're,
Yeah, that's just sad.
yeah, when they're, yeah. I try to put them in the air fryer, that's fine. Not the same.
Anyone else is joining us?
I haven't seen.
We need one more person to vote. Ron would have made it, 'cause sometimes he jumps on, and then. Does Josh count as a member? Does it voting? He does, okay, so he said he can't, but if he needed to make fun that he didn't have on, is that like his kid's game? Then again, what is the game? It's raining, so. It's not raining now. That's true. Still playable weather. Yeah,
If he's playing soccer or football, then
it's not
They're
raining
still
bad
playing.
enough, yeah.
I have never in my life had a soccer game
Sorry,
canceled because
yeah.
of rain.
He's a
Love
parent,
to play
we don't
outside.
go outside, we don't go outside in the sun, we don't do any of those stuff. Like, not at all.
We had EJ's senior year, we had a game when they were playing. It was COVID year, so they weren't playing in the fall, it was in the, it was in the spring, and, no, was it fall? I don't know, okay, anyway, we went in the game from like sunny and 70 to raining to whiteout snow that you could not see. Like I have a picture of her where, because I'm on sideline taking pictures and she's 20 feet away from me and like you can kind of make her out. through this.
Well, I have some questions, if I can jump on like 20 minutes.
Were these new ones that they sent?
Yes, so those are the
Yeah.
hard copies of the new. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and there's
Right there.
decent like price difference with each, but
One of them was like 10,000.
one was like 10,000, the other one, I thought the other one was like around there too. I mean, they're both less.
I only looked at.
Getting.
Yeah, I was like, the numbers are less. Okay.
Stop.
One of the numbers was less,
Close
the
out of my
timeline was
stuff.
longer, and I was like,
Yeah,
you're doing less now, how is that gonna take you more time?
or maybe they were trying to adjust it for when we're going to award that. I'm like so not worried about the timeline. I was
Yeah, no.
like, whatever you are able to do.
I said,
It's
I'm
significant,
not used to like blocking.
because EDR is like 48
It's a lot.
Juggling.
and
I just-
CHA is 29 for.
So some.
Yeah. And even when the original ones, before we scaled it down, there was a significant price difference.
Yeah, but so the price difference, but I thought they were for what they were, like for the scope of it.
Yeah.
I didn't think that EDR was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think prices were like too high.
This on.
And I think we ever successfully got a new one, talk that reference. That's all great. That no one had to,
ideas.
at least pretend to say something nice.
I just like, obviously also like somebody typed how many of those.
That is really too bad, because like,
Yeah,
Right here.
we wouldn't be in the position where we are right now if it weren't for all of the.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is what you should use for.
I don't even know what that is.
I mean,
We wouldn't have poured on the expensive one,
take it out of it.
and then, oh, wait, we didn't do anything with all that.
I feel like I would have then renegotiated. Like, I don't know. I feel like I would-
It's such a short period, so it was a lot of work.
So CHA was 34.5, so they.
But then it went down to 24,900, I think.
29.4.
29.
So they gave them 5,000.
Right, basically 5,000, and then, and EDR was 58.5, and they came down to 48.
So they came down 10.
Oh, wow. So I guess I just don't. Well, listen, I think that's.
Janelle's coming.
Oh, Jenna, okay.
I just had her resend her the link.
Okay. And we might not need Josh to jump in.
I can't vote.
I know, I said, we don't have a quorum until we have.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just did it.
I
Oh.
can't either.
Okay, Jenna's done.
You're good.
Okay, cool. We'll jump. Enjoy. Whatever. you need. So first thing, which Allison reminded me of, we didn't approve minutes last time from August meeting, and we need to approve September minutes. So we can start with August, if anyone remembers them. And then just need to move to approve those minutes, things like that.
I'll move the improvements.
Okay.
I'll second.
There. I just need to vote on it. Yes. Oh. Are we muted? Whatever. Okay.
No,
Save that.
I don't think we are.
Okay.
Julie, can you hear them?
It's like very, very garbled.
Oh, sorry.
Like,
So we have to just approve the minutes from August?
got it.
Yes or no?
Sure. I think you read them.
They passed.
Yes. It's better. I mean, I know it's, you're all together and it'll happen naturally, but if more than one person is talking at all, it's just like blah, 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 blah. That's all I hear. So, I don't know. We'll try,
Okay.
figure it out.
Then the next is September minutes, which Allison circulated a few days ago. And I'll move to approve them. I just need a second.
I'll second again. I was like, take all time you need.
Yeah. It's Wednesday. Anyone have any recommended changes or are we good with it? Okay, vote yes to approve. Some no's or abstentions, I guess technically Janelle. But it's.
I approve.
There we go. I'll still approve mine.
Fell out of my cabinet.
Okay, so the next thing we do is just go through updates, so I guess we'll start with Christina.
Yep.
Because you brought it by.
I brought my boss.
Yeah,
More
your
than
buddy.
money. So I think I'll start first with, we put in through the youth services and over target request to help continue funding RYS. And the legislator, was not approved at first, but they did bring it back, it was approved. So if you wrote a letter, thank you so much, because they received more letters for this one budget item than they received for anything else. And they were very personal and heartfelt letters, not form letters. And so they really appreciated all of that. We have compiled the ones that were either sent back to our youth, different educators or to us into a little booklet. So if you are interested in that, we can share that as well. If you wrote one and you want to share it, you're more than welcome to as well. But be aware, you will probably cry. I did anyway. Shelly kept sending to me. I'm like, I'm not crying. I promise. But they're just really, it shows how much these programs really mean to the youth and the families and the communities that they are in. So thank you very much for that. Dave's programs are going really well. He's had really good attendance. We just opened up the next round of programs. And he is taking a group of 8 kids to the Adirondacks this weekend for great weather, safe travels, to go camping and do some canoeing and such. So, and moose traps. Yeah. So that's really exciting. And then we have a big thing we want to talk to you about, which is why I brought Shelly. Also, it's great for us to kind of go to the different meetings so that people don't forget who we are.
So originally, when I went through the budget, though, they weren't approving any money for you guys, or was it?
No,
like,
what it
happened?
was,
Yeah.
it was Tompkins County Youth Services, which Kate usually comes.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
a liaison. They had put an over target request for
Yeah.
$47,225, which I'm sure she sent the email to you guys asking me. That was not included in the original 2025 budget by the county administrator. But it was picked up by Dan Klein, the legislative
Yeah.
chair. And unanimously voted in.
The over target request.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really big.
And so that money
It was
was,
pretty exciting because
No, that's.
they were
They
were not unanimously voting on
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
And that money will help us continue with like a little bit more competitive salaries, or at least bring them up a little bit more. But also some of the money that like CCE had been putting in when they did that salary improvement plan, this takes on that and stuff. And so, yeah, it was pretty crucial. So it's really great that the ledge is.
Yeah, no, I've been seeing nothing but that news, so I just really had to
Right.
make sure I heard that.
No, yes, you did. And yeah, we were.
But the final vote is until the.
Right, so keep
Okay,
your fingers
okay.
crossed, you want to do something on Halloween, right, 30th, the
It's the
30th. You can go hang out at the ledge meeting and chat about how awesome we all are, and how they should keep giving us. But hopefully it'll go through in correct form. And speaking of budgets and sustainability, as you guys probably know, the Dryden Hours position has been vacant, and it's stagnant again. And we thought we had 2 candidates, they fell through. So we've kind of gone back to the drawing board on what do we do with this program and how do we make it successful and sustainable and So Shelley and I have been having a lot of meetings around this, and so we have come up with a proposal for you guys on how we think that this program should move forward in a new iteration. Take it away, Shelley.
All right. So, we've had a lot of challenges with the program in the past several years. And we didn't list them all, we tried to keep it pretty succinct for you. But, the educational requirements are not conducive to the pay rate. So currently, right now, the educational requirement for our senior program manager is a master's or a bachelor's with 4 years experience, and the pay rate is $21 an hour. Well, as you can see, that's getting us absolutely nowhere. So that's one of the challenges. No interviews have even taken place since the posting started in April. The posting is now down. It's not even up. The population of the mobile home parks has changed. There are very few youth living in the park. After the pandemic, the population that we've been serving was living almost all in Poets Landing. There were a few youth in the parks and a few youth outside of Poets Landing nearby, but it was 98% Poets Landing. And the transportation costs are very high. So after doing a lot of, this was really hard for me to do because this program was so amazing when it was created and everything that it meant. And I'm gonna leave the emotional part aside. It just seemed like we were trying to make something work that was no longer working. Like the formula was not there for this to be successful anymore. So we are proposing to change the position to a subject educator 1, which requires either a bachelor's or an associate's in 2 years, which is much more conducive to the pay. We would like the programs to take place actually in the Dryden Elementary School if possible. And right after school, or if not, we would still target the same population, but we would ask for help from the social workers to make sure that we were getting those kids that have barriers, and we would be serving elementary youth ages 8 through 5th grade. We would still work with Cornell to provide a once-a-month activity and a field trip, and possibly more if it's logistically possible. We've already spoken to our partners up there, so they're aware of what we're proposing. We are committed to keeping a Cornell University student component in the program. And summer would consist of a straight-up youth development program, and some of the youth employment funds could go to a summer intern to help with the programming, because then we could offer a user-friendly programming 4 days a week to parents without an intern or someone to relieve that person for lunch. The program would then have to be only 6 hours long. The benefits of doing this would include a more attractive and reasonable work schedule for the program educator. So despite the low pay, they were also working like from 12 to 8 or
Crazy hours.
12 to 9, which
Yeah.
that's okay for a little while, but after a while, nobody really likes it anymore. It would cut costs associated with transportation. It is a proven method of successful and sustainable programming that we have in all of our other RYS programs. And we would be able to provide more collaboration. So this person could potentially work with Dave Hall. It also would help be a transition program from the elementary to the middle school. And Dryden being the largest town in Tompkins County, probably has a need for 2 programs. If Dave's serving middle school currently, and we were to serve elementary, and we did look up the census just to see what we had going now. Granted, this was 2 years ago, but the census reported that we had 535 students in the 5 to 9 age group and 657 in the 10 to 14. So there's plenty of youth to recruit from who would benefit from the program. Position would be more sustainable. And it would bring stability without the constant turnover and long periods of vacancy. So that's it in a nutshell. Yeah. Have any questions we'd be happy to answer?
So is this program that happens like after school, so the few youth that are still in the mobile home park, like, are they gonna be able to attend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all, I just don't want.
Right,
all this-
Even if it's like 5 kids, like. just to-
Yeah, and let me back up a minute to
Yeah.
say that we spoke with Cornell University to let them know that we were gonna propose this change, and so that they could also let their students know, because their students right now are without a cause. They don't have anything to put on their
Yours.
resume for
Yeah,
this year
Yeah,
too, so we're being cognizant of that. We didn't talk to school about any of this yet because we thought that we should see what the commission thinks before we made that step. So any of these ideas would have to then be discussed with school administration to see what's viable.
And so this was sort of kind of where, before Ally left, we were sort of transitioning to this anyway, where we were still very much recruiting in all of the different parks and mobile home communities. And then additionally opening it up to anybody in the elementary school. And there was a big receptive population of people that were willing to be able to transport their own kids and wanted the programming, and we could only limit it to 10 to 12 kids. Or 10 because we had to pick them up and take them before 4-H acres at that point. So we would still do that focus on recruiting within the mobile home communities and those communities, and then also open it up to any of the, any elementary school students, with working with the school counselors and stuff to make recommendations. And it's essentially what we're doing for all of our middle school programming, but for those elementary school youth.
So in the other towns that we have RYS programming, so are they doing like an elementary one, or it's like what is?
Well, it depends on, so the Danby program has elementary. The Joint Youth Commission, which is the town of Ithaca, the town of Caroline, and the villages of Lansing and Cuba Heights all combined. They have several elementary programs because that individual actually works in like 7 or 8 schools.
Yeah.
LACS,
Yeah.
Boynton, DeWitt Middle School, Bell Sherman. Caroline, Cuba Heights Elementary,
It's one.
Northeast Elementary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Danny does South Hill, Enfield does, Enfield, 4th graders for transition.
Newfield does 4th graders for transition.
Yeah,
as well.
Newfield has an elementary. So that generally what happens is if you do get those higher elementary, the last couple of grades, then they have that safe transition. When they're in middle school, there's already somebody they know and they trust and they feel comfortable with, especially when you're pouring into a different school. So that helps alleviate a lot of that. And then it builds the culture of doing that. And then eventually, if we're successful, they move on, they join a sports team or a musical, or they volunteer in our program as youth leaders.
Are you looking to do this at the elementary school? Or?
Well, that's one of our ideas, but like I said, we are vetting it here with you first before we are starting any conversations with the school
Let's just
administration.
throw out some information I have before you go to the school, so you're prepared. I love our school district. They're very hard to get into. So the Dryden Elementary School has an after-school program.
Right?
Yep.
Aware of
So
that.
they use the gym and they use the cafeteria in the gym. And then in the winter, our programs use the upstairs gym at 5:45 and the downstairs gyms at 5:45. If you do not work at the school, you have to have a supervisor and you have to pay that supervisor to be there. And you can't use classroom. You guys might be able to, but we can't use classrooms because we're not teachers and we don't work there. So there's those hurdles. McLean Cassavant has an after-school program as well.
Mhm.
They're getting a supervisor to come there is kind of hard sometimes too. And so the only school that doesn't offer anything after school is Freeville. But like I said,
It's the same rules though, right?
yeah, so you always, if you don't work at the school, you have to request the, you know, the space, they have to get a supervisor, and like for us, we pay for the supervisor fees for that.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so just trying to think of space wise, it's great that, you know, the elementary schools have the playground. I don't know how many kids you're looking for either.
It would be similar to what we already have, 10 to 12 a day.
Yeah, so that's
Essentially,
not a huge,
No,
That's not-
I don't, you don't have to pay to go to it either.
right, but like I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's just, it's
Yeah.
hard to get in.
Well, our
into this-
plan B, if we couldn't have it at that physical location, would be to see how the busing is this year, because. And I don't know, but they were always willing to bus for us if they had the ability to do it. They've always been really easy to work with as far as that goes. So,
Congratulations for you.
well, I mean, things change, right?
Yeah.
But then my experience have all been positive in the
Yeah.
past.
And then it would be pickup with very limited, like potentially driving of home, because,
Right,
and we saw good reception from that, when Ally was last year too, like parents were willing to come to 4-H acres to pick up too.
I think
And
it's-
that were
So
able
it's like you
to.
didn't have the school, it was like lady busing to 4-H acres.
yes.
Yeah, or potentially having programmings at other, like, you know, Dave has some programmings at the middle school, but then he has some programming like during the summer and stuff at like Dryden Lake and like. Or he has ones where they go on field trips and stuff, so it would be more along those lines too, of like, there could be other.
Did you see that the elementary
Places.
school has different rules than the middle school?
No, if you're not, maybe because Dave's been there for a long time, but if you
Is
do
your
not,
grandfather in?
Well,
if you
but
do
also-
not work there,
Right.
you do not have.
Yeah, they may also already have. There's more likelihood that there are. Staffed after school activities going on at the middle school, high school than at the elementary
Yeah.
school. So you're not
There's like always
necessarily,
people there.
right, yeah, so like, so like Sunday night for like adult basketball. The rec program has to pay for a person to be there.
Yeah.
But if somebody's already there,
Mhm.
then. You know, that. They're already there, there is already a building. manager, so
Yeah.
not necessarily have to pay for
Yeah,
it.
because Ally had programming in the middle school as well.
Yeah, so that may be one thing.
Yeah, 'cause there's, the middle school is always full, you know, people.
Right.
But no, I think at the school would be great. It's just trying to, and I would think that they would be receptive to this idea as well.
They were very supportive of us picking kids up there and
They were
referring
very
kids to
helpful.
us and yeah.
They were just really, really.
Figuring out
helpful.
lists of kids of going where and, yeah, they've been very supportive of the programming.
We just were
Oh.
thinking that that would make it easiest on everyone, but we do know, we do try to listen to youth voice. But sometimes adults have to make decisions that don't go along with youth voice.
Yeah, because there are other, yeah, obviously.
But they don't like being at the school. They wanna have a space.
Yeah,
away from the
which
school.
which I understand,
Yeah.
and I think one of the, probably one of the. The only other thing is if we're going to. All elementary, elementary and intermediate. You know, then that does have the kids of Freeville and McLean.
Yep.
Who sort of like, we need to get them.
Yep.
So that
To
would,
that, to like, if it was at.
So they can
DES.
take the bus to
I
DEF,
know they
yeah.
can, yeah.
And we actually had a youth that went to Freeville
Actually, I
and
was
she'd
gonna
get
say,
dropped off and
right,
we'd pick her up at
because-
that at the Dryden Elementary School, so.
Beth does,
Yeah.
My wife, she does bus duty on the intermediate side in the circle.
right,
And so there were times last year when Ally was looking
Yep.
for somebody, like, oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
yes. I remember, I was in that circle a few times myself last year. And that's the other thing about summer that we know, since it is such the largest town with many hamlets, that our idea would be we would try to have programming in different locations throughout the summer where it was viable, you know, such as Varna and Ells Hollow, and different places, just so it's not all right centered in the middle of town where not everybody can get to. So, yeah, those are the thoughts. And we also have mock-up budget that would change as well prepared.
I already passed that out.
Right.
I'm just trying to think. And, well, it's another location, it's in the villages, potential like the Methodist church.
Yes,
Mhm.
churches have always been really great to work with as well.
They've got like a fellowship hall, like big.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
All sorts of
The
stuff.
Baptist church too, Mike.
Yeah,
they
Like,
Baptist
like,
church,
yeah,
yeah.
it's-
Allison, is the village have an upstairs now too?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
facility?
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
right by the
Elementary
elementary school. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's brand new, right? No asbestos.
Whoa.
so there's several potential locations.
Yeah. Because we really, when we were thinking about this, we really wanted to take the feeling of
The
and
spirit of
the
it.
elements and the spirit of the hours program and try to make it so we're not like forgetting the people that we have been serving, including them, but then also building on it a little bit more.
Yeah, it's changed. It makes sense a lot, our poets, because that's where the families are probably going,
Yeah.
that they can afford to
Yeah.
do, so. And they probably don't want to use the community center there, right? That's boring for the kids.
It's possible. They've been incredibly accommodating. They gave us a key to, like, they're
Yeah.
great. It's very challenging space to have programming. The kids don't want to be there.
Yeah,
But
we're
B,
home.
there's a lot why wouldn't you
Or kids wanna
wanna
do
join
stuff
a
and
fun
they're not your
program?
own.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is so cute and wonderful but hard to manage for sure.
Has anyone ever asked out to the local fire departments? Because, I mean, there's Varna, Etna, Freeville, Dryden, and McLean, who I know McLean would be willing to offer a space if you could like rotate that through there's usually not things going on right after
Yeah.
school.
Yeah,
that's an awesome idea.
That would be fun.
Yeah. yeah.
I
so-
might know people that I could kind of convince to do the right thing, so.
All right, Janelle, you're there. We go.
I mean,
And
Yeah.
that's not a bad idea, because
Yeah.
there is, there's the fire hall in Freeville,
Yep.
that has space. The fire hall in Neptune here in
Yeah.
Dryden does, kind of, so yeah.
Yeah,
Good idea, Janelle.
yeah, that's what
Yeah, that's got space. too.
And it's right, yeah,
And there's definitely places to shift them around.
right. So you really could, like.
Which is interesting for the kids to just.
Edna's got more space than Varna. Varna's
Yeah.
got a meeting room. It's got chairs and desks all over the place.
yeah.
And Edna's got like this big space.
wow.
They also have a lot of after school stuff there, and there's a, yeah, no,
At
there's
the
a.
community center or the-
At the community
Yeah.
center.
So community center,
Right,
yeah,
the
they have a
community
big.
Yeah, but they have
Because they-
it.
But then we get.
They have-
a-
They don't have it after.
They don't anymore?
Oh,
They did it before.
Oh,
Yeah,
did they?
Chinese is a second language.
Yeah, Chinese is a second
Oh,
language
okay.
program that like they. Told them they couldn't do it the one day that we had been doing program there, and then when we left, they brought them back to be able to do it all week there.
Yeah, the community center was very.
But they've
welcoming.
also, yeah, been very, very.
Or just ask Cornell if they have space to let you guys use.
There are
No.
so
we
many
can't do that.
now.
The risk management up there is way worse. than
Oh,
here.
gosh.
We know all about it.
It's getting more. So we did a new proposal for the 2025 budget. And there would be some cost savings involved in it. The other thing is that in the over target request, County Youth Services did put in some money for the Dryden Hours program, which you'll see is represented there now as well. And so it's actually a lot of savings overall. I think it's a total of. Where did I, is it like 11,000?
11,152.
Yeah,
I was like, that can't be.
No,
right.
11,000 is
Right,
right.
it is right.
I know.
So, yeah,
So the salary though is down then. too?
right, because
Okay.
it bumps down to a different tier. And
Okay.
it also doesn't require the same level of supervision of the Cornell volunteers.
Okay.
So that also bumps it down.
And
And so this is in line with the other subject educator.
Ones,
Thank
yes,
you. I get the
correct.
numbers so confused. Subject educator ones that are in other RYS positions.
Okay, so
Salary
it's-
wise.
And then you're saying that the hours would be different anyway, because it used to be going till late, so.
Right, with all the
Like-
transportation that was required
Okay,
and
so
the
then-
like having to be there early to set up to then go pick up at the school.
And then incorporating the college students who don't get there till 5:30.
Yep.
Because that's when their classes get out and that's when they can get a ride. So if it changes and we're just gonna be doing special things with them, that's not gonna be into the daily
Yeah.
routine, which.
In the same fashion.
I mean, it's a loss on one way, but it makes the position much
It
more
makes it a lot
attractive.
more attractive, because
Yeah.
even for the higher salary, for the.
Cause
Yeah.
even the
Those
most
hours.
youngest gung ho folks, after a while, they're like. I can't go to dinner, I can't be on the softball league, I can't,
Yeah.
I can't.
And whereas a lot of our other positions start later, like they don't start at 8 AM, they push it back. And then this position wasn't able to do that because they were having to constantly be supervising yours mentors for doing lesson plans and are we ready for tonight and what supplies, who's come, like there was a lot of pre-communication that was challenging with everybody's schedule. To say the
Right,
least.
cause they're up
So-
to, the students are up till 3 in.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we'll send something in at 10 to 3 before program starts at 5.
Okay.
Well. As the one who's been around the longest
Tell us.
and seen and been involved in.
Yeah.
In interviewing and this and knowing even what I know the origins of it. There's some people who would be like, oh, stay true to the
Yeah.
origins.
I feel really bad about changing.
got it,
but
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you have to change.
But yeah, you have to adapt. You have to adapt to what it is. And it's like,
Yeah,
you know, and when, you know, the original vision of serving the trailer park kids, that was where the need was. Well, if the kids aren't there, then we're,
Yeah.
you know, we're wasting time and money
Yeah.
trying, you know, serving kids who aren't there, like. You know, and so we can broaden it out to, it's still the concept is serving the kids who have a need.
Right,
As opposed, you know, like.
yes,
and can't afford to pay for
and that need is
programming.
expanded.
For programming and then they can do this and I think there's enough of.
Yeah.
Enough ideas on locations.
Yep.
Where it
Yeah.
really could be moved around
Yep,
to flex enough for people.
which is what we were thinking too, to make it accessible so
Right,
that we can
right.
capture all those different
Right, because then
communities.
the
in some
kids,
ways
the kid
and
that's in
stuff, so-
McLean.
Right.
You know, it's not a problem for them. They go the day it's in McLean, the kid that's in Freeville goes there, the
Yep.
kids in Etna.
And
You know,
it's not right.
Right,
The trailer, yeah, the trailer
Right.
is right there.
It's manufactured housing community. too.
Yes, yeah, I know, you're right.
You get that, Allison?
The target community is right there. How's that?
yes,
Yeah, I just realized it.
Yeah, I mean, so this is just me. I 100%, I think this is a good idea.
Yeah, I think as long as no one loses out on the programs, they're
Yeah.
moving around, I think, yeah, as long as we're within the school too, to talk to social workers. to
Always,
find what
yeah.
they're with it, then.
Yeah.
Then we're good.
And I think, you know, obviously, busing is an issue because staffing for bus drivers is an issue.
yes, yeah,
I think Josh. You know, I think Josh will still be supportive of this.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everybody wants to.
Everybody wants
It's just the
Is there-
capacity
yes.
is.
yeah.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons we did leave the van usage still pretty high was because that is a really big unknown. And we don't wanna like shoot ourselves in the foot by not putting it in there and then being like, oh, wait, never mind. we didn't
Yeah,
do
can
that.
you see, we didn't take very much away from that yet.
Yeah, well, I think at the moment, you know, there's enough savings in other parts of it that leaving.
Yeah.
Leaving a good chunk of money in there to cover van usage is fine, and
Yeah.
if that doesn't get used.
Right,
And we find out it works perfectly, then
then great,
2026 budget, it can be reduced.
Yeah.
So. And maybe this solves, you know, that's been the hardest thing, you know, for me watching is we've had some really good.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not set up for like a sustainable.
Yeah.
position.
You know,
it's
it's
just
like,
not.
for them to, particularly with that level of education,
Mhm.
the amount that they're getting paid. And you know, what these kids need is stability, and so that's.
And it's not
we can-
giving them that.
Yeah.
Right, so if we can come up with something that, and that, you know.
I can help do that.
Because it's heartbreaking to watch them when a staff member leaves.
And the one thing I'll throw in there too is that we are meeting with the Cornell mentors. We've met with their staff advisor, but we are actually meeting with the presidents soon. We're working on a date. But they've been asking a lot of like, well, what can we do? Can we send kits? Can we do this? And like, they're missing those youth and those
Right.
kids too. And so they're very much like wanting to be a part of it somehow. And so that's what we're kind of next steps of figuring out is like, how can they still be a part of it? How can we still have those relationships? Because they care so much about those kids too.
Is this something we have to vote on, or are you guys just going to?
I think you have to
I
vote
think
on
you
it.
have to vote.
I think we do.
Right, it's an
because
action Okay.
It's,
The one thing I don't know, and we can talk to Kate at the county, is the money that's the county contribution. Sometimes that just goes right through the town, so the town might actually be the 60. Those two guys together. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's usually how it's done, I
Conference
think,
this week?
so, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Jason, I think meeting the 25th, correct?
Yeah.
Budget stuff, okay. So yeah.
Yes. So then we need a motion to approve their proposal from Dryden.
well, I made that motion for that.
Okay. Yeah, second.
I'll second again.
Makes it easy for.
So then, yeah, so then go forward, and who approves the proposal given by, would it be RYS?
Yes.
Yeah, for the new Dryden R's proposal.
Janelle Yin.
I'm in.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
And I would like to add that we also have to update the other driving budget.
Dave Dryden.
Yeah. Because of the over target request, some things have changed, but we won't know so the amount
Right.
that we were planning to use in reserves and different things. Is changed, and we also have different fringe benefit numbers, which are actually lower.
Yeah.
So,
So you're still getting this.
so it's gonna be less than we had projected,
So we'll either bring it to the November meeting if there is one,
or we can email it.
or we can at least email it out.
Just email.
Just
We'll
so you
email it,
know.
we can email it by the end of the week
Yeah.
of what the next budget proposal draft is,
Yeah.
because it depends on town budget passing and the
Yeah.
county budget
Yeah.
passing,
So if you just
Yeah.
give those to me, then I can give them to Amanda and we can change that. number.
You got it.
Perfect.
we can do that easy.
And then we'll also, third quarter invoicing is gonna come out at the end of the month. And so we'll bring like an updated 2024 driving budget.
And I
Either
knew-
emailing that out or at the next meeting, depending on if it's.
Yeah, because I think the town board's meeting is 25th.
Okay. We'll send it to you by the end of the week.
Okay. No worries.
And we sent out our newsletter today, so.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a
If you
chance
didn't
to
get
check
it, you can sign up online or just shoot me an email on the DRYC listserv and I can add you to our email. It's only quarterly, so it doesn't log down.
Marty, do you want to go next?
Sure. I don't really have much.
You say that like every time. you have this-
I didn't think so.
This is awesome.
Tired.
Yeah.
Soccer's over. Football's not.
One more.
One more week. Yeah, I am gonna apply for the youth sports grant this year, that Teresa had sent out for soccer goals, the 4x6 soccer goals. The ones we have were made by somebody, I'm not sure who, but I need new nets and you can't buy those for those, so that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Oh, I would bring that. I'm glad you're applying for that.
Thank you. Last year I didn't apply for it. I had the Fogo Club, the lacrosse Fogo Club apply for it. I figured they were in need. I support them a lot for what they do, so.
Right, and that was the one, that's the one that Jason said.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did get it from Teresa,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the one we got money, we've gotten money for to do like the Summer Olympics that we did this past summer. And some of the camping trips and stuff that Dave's done have been paid for through that sports funding money. So everybody, thank you for gambling on sports if you do, because that's where it comes from.
Thanks for your indignity.
Also, there's gambling and.
And your phone number. Yeah, so this weekend is also the haunted house, there's a 5K, what's it called, the ghosts run or something?
Race the Ghost.
Race the Ghost. I'll be reposting everything that's happening this weekend. The fire department is doing their hay rides Saturday instead of Friday. The dried vegetable room will be having cider and donuts there. I'm scaring people.
Cool.
Voting. Yeah,
You're not gonna be scaring me.
I'm not coming.
You know ghosts. but-
No.
You will not hurt me feeling.
I go, no,
I will not be there.
well, last year I went through the lights on one,
No.
that's fun. I don't need to scare myself.
Our new field program manager and I took kids down to Iron Kettle Farm and they were like, we're going to the scare house. I'm like, I'm gonna wait outside. Let me know, I'll be right here when you're done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's not my jam either, but being inside is okay, because somebody's scaring me. Yeah,
Well, Lily's makeup is usually terrifying too. I just, when you sent me the picture of that, it's like, I was like, ah,
she was terrifying. Yeah, she'll be there Saturday, not Friday.
Okay. Jason, do you have updates from town board?
We were just waiting for the contractor.
Yeah,
And I wanted to put something, which I guess the contractor wants to give us a number for what it would cost for out back.
Brenda said to put a number in for,
But for them, we would just need, their cost.
right,
But whatever the range is fine.
yeah, so.
And then if there's any,
There's no table.
I mean, the work that can be done back there. If we don't have a number yet for it, we can always, just if it's not crazy, we can always. Do it at a fund balance anyway, mid-year, it doesn't.
Okay.
at the very
That's
least,
how,
we get-
that's how it's
yeah.
gonna be, like in any budget, that's how it's done anyway. Because not doing. Not going through anything. So we're saying things that can go referendum on something. So faster stuff is the raise we can do without problem. That's right.
So. Yeah, the two main items, it's to hopefully select a consultant. The other thing is Cornell Design Connect is accepting applications until November 4th. If we want to apply for that, I was told by Craig Anderson that. I guess they're looking to put one in for like,
Going into, I don't know.
and there was something about like some rail tie-ins or something, or trail tie, I can't remember what it was.
Wouldn't worry about it. They'll only select one for the.
They're only, so, well, yeah, so he had mentioned just like thinking like to not have competing ones, maybe. Either we do it and they don't, or they do it and we don't, unless we really don't care about applying for both and just seeing,
I personally don't care.
yeah.
I mean, it's just, I don't even know what they're. Probably have something like that.
Yeah, and then the other thing is that when, if we apply for it, I think we talked about it before, that wouldn't really replace having a consultant though, right? It would just be, they would help us with maybe a design that can help
Or it
build
could
the
be,
car.
or it could be for something.
Right,
completely
give me
different.
something, yeah.
Different than back there, because there's other parts of the town. They. If their plan had something where you could do tied in like that. You can have one. Thing, it's not. But it doesn't need to be the stuff back here.
Yeah.
They should do it. There's plenty of other needs in the town, too, it's not just.
Yeah, so then my question, yeah, would be if we apply for Design Connect, do we just do a completely different kind of ask? Or, yeah, or do I just go back to Craig and see what they're doing and we just incorporate it into
Oh,
one
no, you're good.
proposal, which actually might make sense.
Yeah, I mean, that one they might, I mean, I don't know what they're asking, they're doing.
Thing. Lateral trail connections to the rail trail, that was the only thing he said.
For the housing. committee?
No, not from the housing committee, it was just something that I think Craig was pitching. So I'm not really sure.
He never came to this.
Okay.
So. Very good pitch all he wants.
That's what I was saying, I think about like walking the trail, connecting from Poets Landing, or something about.
Yeah, like connections like that.
That would be cool.
Would be nice.
I don't know if we need Design Connect to do that, but
Should, you know, we
I was gonna say, I just go out there and just do
I think
that.
the Poets one would be right away, although I think the Poets one would be, like, would take some more work to do, because there's a lot of wetness between those two spaces.
Yeah. But if they, if the developer, like, do they also own all that property?
Right.
Which is always.
Mistakes.
Yeah, it's a big amount.
We just do, I mean, a domain, that's the way we have done the rest of it.
You should think about
That's done.
I know, but the number of times that I've heard that over the last several years, overreach. I don't know, too.
And the only place it came up was actually for the bridge part. It's a little tiny slice.
We've never even noticed.
Well, person owns.
Jersey.
Syracuse.
So. Because I think when we played last time I did, I specifically talked about development for a recreation back here. So are we saying that we would do something that would be more?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
These folks are gonna do the stuff back there, then if there's some other thing that Marty.
For Design Connect?
It doesn't make any sense if we're doing consultants for this to also do design, so it would be something either with benefit Marty or.
We need like other community center thing,
Right.
like, can they look at and pick up, like, I don't know if that's something they do, is like, what would be the best. Thing, place for that, based on,
I mean, I would like that to give us a solid plan.
I mean, to be like based on, because the location thing is where everyone always ends up fighting about it. Well, one person ends up fighting about it with everybody else.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We talked about that one, what was the church we
It's just
inserted
where
on
the
the freaking center?
CLC. About community.
Is that something designed?
No, you're talking about the white church. Or you're talking about the land.
The land, that was a land thing. but
Right, but then
as a
we're,
potential for.
No, but the white church,
yeah,
is that something designed to look
the
at how
Methodist church.
to turn that into a reasonable
The one over here.
rec center,
That's the fourth
like
one.
a retrofit?
Yeah, I mean, they could.
Yeah, I'm just looking up for a second, I'm trying to remember.
Because the thing is, the congregation wants to sell the building. It's just. Or to that, I mean, it's each rooms that are available now, like, started and before you do any big work.
Yeah,
who bought the building behind it?
The rending?
Did somebody buy it?
Some guy, it was being used for some medical thing.
Right.
The white one, like, has the door coming to our parking lot or.
Well,
Yeah.
that was,
All right.
that was the people who,
Owned the building.
so the.
Somebody bought it, put a bunch of cameras in the parking lot, told the taqueria, tell the people to stop.
Until the
parking.
church is. under
Yeah.
the church.
that's nice.
Even the church too, yeah.
You're worried about the octogenarians leaving condoms and drug paraphernalia.
Yes, that's what he was saying.
There was a sign they put on one of a car one time that was parked there, and I took a picture of it, like. Anyway. somebody who's not, somebody who is not from the community bought the building, was using it.
Yeah.
Not taking very good care of the property and not letting anybody.
They might be living there.
They were.
Very nicely said. Very.
I would not. be
In the
surprised
writing?
In the particular, because it was.
Is that zoned for?
That comes from Riverville and puts out all the other ones.
Right.
Yeah.
I still wonder where that is. Is there a machine someplace? Just like-
Yeah, just feeds it all into.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that place, like, you could, they're open base. One, the guy in there, Ray is there too. They want to sell it.
Is that something that the town would want to do, buying, like, if the town want to buy it necessarily?
It's the right price, maybe.
And they're.
And the village could contribute too, despite how poor they claim they are.
And,
Sorry.
but like the church.
I know you work there. but
I'm not there.
The church would want to, if I remember what you said before, the church would want to
Use.
still be able to use the,
Use the.
like on Sundays,
um,
use the sanctuary.
the sanctuary.
Um,
Which, I mean, the thing is, that space is great for as is music and whatever, all you gotta do is be able to move the podium and stuff to the back. Or off stage and.
Is there a gym in there or no?
I mean, you wouldn't have to do anything to the audio, like for audio, they have 2 big speakers up already,
It's a perfect place for youth programs.
It honestly,
Yeah.
because they also, they have a newer, so there's the old building,
Yeah.
and then there's there's a newer wing.
Yeah.
Has, I think they even have a choir practice area, but like they have
Yeah.
classrooms and some
Yeah.
decent offices and.
yeah.
No, it's
It's actually all ready to go, it's just if you,
Just
depends how
needs
much you want, if you wanna do anything to it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I mean, so like the application is pretty basic and it would just be a description of the project and, you know, your desired deliverables. So would it be exploring a location for a community center or would we say, I mean, I guess it.
or you can have a look at this.
Or look at this specific,
Just having a look at that one.
right?
At least
Okay.
that way, you know, it's kind of gonna be preserved, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not like.
To show like this,
something
we've
Yeah.
been shown that this is a good idea and they are interested in selling it, right? So. Okay.
Military, you know.
I feel like you're talking about it in the summer,
Right,
okay.
Probably they should reach out to to somebody.
That's pretty sweet house.
Huh?
Marty's talking about living in the church.
Living in the church.
It'd be pretty sweet.
It would be pretty sweet.
I wouldn't tell anybody.
Might get nice light.
Well, you know, I mean, if somebody living in the building behind it.
I would-
They don't want.
I would-
Those squatters don't want squatting.
They don't want squatting.
They don't want more squatters. No.
There's a one squatter in that block.
Well, I mean,
It's always going for one spot.
so I can fill it out, cause it's due
You said
For the 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks.
Fourth, I mean,
I think we should probably reach out to whoever. Church from the pastor or somebody from. Jason, you know, whoever the contact.
yeah, I mean, if you, yeah,
I think it's Charlie.
Oh, Charlie, well, okay, so gotta be something, Charlie. I don't know, Charlie's here now, they're moving.
Yeah, he's coming back. I'm helping him out in between times, so he'll be back in a couple weeks and then,
Yeah.
So-
There are a whole lot of sort of-
yeah, Charlie.
There's a lot of organizations that have depended on Charlie for financial
Yeah.
management, and so they're gonna be scrambling.
For that, I think it was.
Yep.
Happening over there, that's part of the problem, there are enough people that can't.
So, yeah, I mean, I think
They have a full kitchen too.
they do.
Mhm.
They have a
Yeah,
nice-
cooking class for
very nice
kids.
full kitchen.
kids love taking the drinking.
Oh my god, that is,
It's
it's right, it is
right.
their, see, if
So
they could
bad.
just do cooking and
Because
baking every
humans-
day all day,
Yeah.
they would do it.
And they're starving because they eat at like 9:30 in the morning.
Right, I know, lunchtime's like.
So they get out of there, they're just like,
So,
That place that I
What?
could
She's-
be. County to rent space out of there for services. People want to schlep over there.
Yeah, no, that would.
I mean, that would.
We could bring in, who are the people that older, the programs for the older people?
Lifelong.
Yeah,
Lifelong, yeah.
In between. there's
Kinda like a
groups
different
that
field.
you can see full
like
time,
Civic comes in
part
with like nutrition
that I think
programming.
it's easily supported.
So who can talk to,
I mean-
the person's name is Charlie?
Yeah.
If someone wants to talk to them, then let me know, I can start filling it out. Do you guys wanna see like a draft or submit it? It's like 1 or 2 sentence answers really for everything, so it's not, it's very basic.
I have faith in you.
No, good, okay. I mean, I've got my organization millions of dollars in it, I think I'm fine.
Do you know anything about buildings?
Feel like I could fill out a Google form. Okay, so then the other one is then deciding on the consultant and to discuss that. So I don't know if anyone wants to chime in on thoughts at the moment. Will, you're allowed to talk, you're just not allowed to vote.
I'll reach out to Charlie.
Yes.
See who we should talk to.
Yeah,
He'll be back in Dryden on the fifth.
Yeah, I figure I'll email him. He can response, but
Yeah, if they'll let us have that building studied, we can ask Charlie by email just beforehand. Cause that way we can tell. People
we have been in,
permission.
we've had, because they do wanna know, how far are you in the project, do you have communities for it?
you know.
But there's already been a meeting with.
I'll email Charlie. And we'll do that, so.
They'd be happy to hear. So.
So CHA and EDR. Anyone have any additional opinions, comments? Preferences?
Okay, you can't. But that's the rest is.
Talk about preferences, other people.
I like that CHA had plenty of different things to show up, what they had worked on with different scales. Whereas with EDR, they pretty much showed us one, but EDR on the other hand understood that the scale was you have 7 acres, you don't have all of this extra acreage to really work with. Whereas CHA like came in thinking grand without really being like, oh, logistically, you couldn't actually use all this space, so half these things we showed you would be totally impossible.
Yeah, I got the impression that you weren't aware that we did an actual wetland study, even though it was attached to the RFP CHA. Which is an oversight.
But as far as recreational parks go, it seemed like they had quality output,
Yeah.
and they are way cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, part of me likes the cost. You've had very good references to be said, like no one ever got back with EDR, right? Yeah, like no one responded back to us in references for EDR, which is a little
It's strange.
strange to me, and where I really appreciate them being upfront in their interview, like it's still, they don't love that, especially since we've heard anecdotal opinions from some people that have worked with them, that went references. It is. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't even housing involved at all with it from the start. I mean, I would like PHA seems to be the ones that will be able to carry out the project. Julie, Janelle, do you have any opinions either way for either proposal?
I agree. I guess I was wondering about the references thing. I didn't know like how much credence to give to that, but I was like, it's kind of like, is it something where like, if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say anything at all? Like,
It's like
is
what I'm
that
kind of
weird?
wondering because The people they put on here too, I mean. Marty, did you ever talk to Ray at all or no? Is it Ray was one of ours? Okay, silence.
Hmm.
I did.
DER did the,
They did
They
the
did
comprehensive
comprehensive
plan.
plan. And I didn't ask Ray because,
That gives me-
Chris, or what's his name, Craig and Gina
Yeah, neither of them
were
were not
with
happy.
EDR on
And they
that
both
project.
reiterated that to me.
Yeah, so I did. I did reach out to Michael Smith and Justin Boyd.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, it definitely wouldn't be like, oh, that completely disqualifies you, but it does make me conflict. Why wouldn't you say anything then?
I mean, I don't know if it was just because, and I'll be honest, the other ones came through a little later, and when I spoke with Richard, I can't remember his name, for CHA, you know, we played phone tag for a long time, so I also just don't know. And I find this super frustrating, but nobody responds to emails. I mean, they just do it at their own pace.
Nope.
I
totally
have
got it.
found. So I don't know if they were like, oh, I don't have time for that right now, and it
Yeah.
just kind of got lost in the shuffle and it just never got responded to, which I understand, it happens.
Which I was kind
quite
of thinking
often.
that too, like that maybe. I mean, we do. Have trouble getting the planners to get back to us and kind of, I think that's.
Yeah, and it's not something, I mean,
It's not a priority then.
right, you know, it's just, and I understand that, I don't take that away. That away from them, really, just because. I've just noticed that's a trend, probably, you know. I took it personal for a little while, now I don't.
Sometimes I just wonder, is like my email actually working? Maybe it's just not working and just.
I don't expect to see if it came back.
Yeah.
Like, did I?
Yeah.
Okay. I know I don't have a vote, but I honestly. I like both of them. It would be hard for me to decide. I did like EDR. I did like their professionalism. I liked their knowledge. I liked all of that as well. I like CHA just because it's what they do. You know, like this is their,
Yeah.
yeah, this is. Yeah.
We don't have to worry too much about cost, do we? They didn't give us a spending limit, so.
Maybe a range.
The difference.
Between
Are you looking at the
20
current one?
CHA for 29 for
CDR was.
EDR.
48.
48.
Yeah, it's like a
There we go.
$20
Yeah.
difference.
It's a big
It's a huge
difference.
difference. There was a huge difference. I
The
didn't,
first time around.
for some reason,
it's too.
maybe it was just the scale of my but like EDR actually came down 10,000 from what they had pitched the first time.
what is
So, and then
CHA?
CHA only came out 5,000.
But they were like.
They were still.
They were already right, so I'm like, oh, I guess for some reason I was thinking they were closer.
Yeah, so like the price really also kind of makes me steer. But also I'm like wondering, like, is it cheaper because they're just more specialized in that, so they just know how to like efficiently do it?
Right.
Is the other thing, and I know EDR has some stuff in here for recreation, but.
DDR, they're gonna do anything different than CHA?
No, I mean, I think the proposal of what they would be doing, same thing, like community outreach and getting ideas and all
Yeah,
of those
nothing
processes.
that
were all the
that's so
same.
wow factor.
It's like
To
the
agree.
DDR stuff, like. With the cost of the outreach and everything. like,
Mhm.
do-
Yeah, I think they had.
Yeah, they broke all
If
that.
they're rolling, if they're doing like email or just have 40. It's up to 1,000. That costs too.
Yeah, I think for both all.
With
inclusive.
kickoff meeting, database gathering, field investigation, summary of site features and concept design. Refine site concept design, master plan report,
I will,
meetings with staff time.
I will say I have more faith in EDR in figuring out the road to the back. What was the part that we had to keep in?
Well, we don't have to
Donate?
keep-
Well, road, thing to that back parcel, we don't need to.
That's not part of us anymore. we don't have to worry.
I mean, we put it on there for them to create a plan still in there. I didn't remove the road on there because. Well, I mean, we could always remove it, but
But that's not gonna be going to any other rec area.
yeah, no,
So there is a-
I mean, I,
deal with it.
yeah,
I'm just
I mean, I kept it in there because like that's what we had with our agreement with that, with Cornelius. But my guess also is that if they just come back to us and say that we can't find a way forward, we just then have a report to give to Cornelius and be like,
I think both would probably come up with the same answer that it's not gonna be doable. But I'm betting that EDRs would be deeper and more detailed.
Detailed, yeah,
But I don't know if we necessarily need that.
But the road isn't our.
right, I mean, I think that's the bigger thing.
Yeah.
The road is not really our problem.
It isn't. which is why like, I don't wanna go with them for our money just for that, because I don't,
Dig it.
yeah, I don't think.
I wasn't
Have,
using
yeah,
that as a
yeah,
reason to
no,
go with
definitely
them.
not, but I get what you're saying.
Just like,
Yeah.
That if we really wanted to move forward, like I said, I have it in there still, but I feel like that's just a more complicated conversation. That's not my.
I moved it, we go with CHA. Can I move that early, or do I have to wait for something else?
No, you can move, I mean, yeah, you can make that, I mean, you can make that motion, we can second it, we can still talk about
Yeah,
whether, you know.
I do like EDR's historian, she's adorable.
we actually don't even need her part of this project anymore.
Yeah, the historian part is in the place. where
There you
we
go.
Do anything.
Oh, that's true.
Well, forget it.
That's true,
Yeah.
so hopefully somebody
Okay,
else.
so you move, is there a second? I'll second. I guess, wait, which one was it for, CHA or EDC?
What am I seconding?
Wait a second. Okay, do you wanna have more discussion about it, everyone, or do we wanna vote on it? Is there any further? Yeah, is there any further discussion on it?
I feel like people.
Julie's got.
Yeah. Julie?
Yeah. I mean, that was gonna be my vote, just,
With CHA,
it's very close and I hope we couldn't go wrong with either. They seem to really understand what we're doing, but I think whereas when I saw, there were both 3 letters and now I forget which one is which, EDR. Right? I came to the EDR interview and it was very impressive. And I was feeling really good about them, but then when the project scope changed to really just be much smaller and just really focus on, like, we need the ball fields and we need the concession stand, then it does sort of seem like we could just do like baby Gutch's Field and they've done like a million of those, and maybe that just makes sense for this particular scene. But that's my feel.
yeah,
I feel like at this point, there wasn't anybody really pushing for either, like both saying positive things, and in the end, $20,000.
it's a big difference.
It is.
Yeah, and I think I'm putting the same thing of that I like. On the presentations, I thought EDR's presentation was much better, liked how forthright and real they were on that.
Yeah.
That allowed us to change the scope and basically not waste money out of the gate. But I think the same, like now that the scope is scaled down to just recreation, just managing this field part, then CHA being, that's what they do is for me.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wonder if EDR is also just more because they still have. We still need a architect, but third party, because you know, they're it's a subcontractor with
Right.
Spring, which is not cheap, and they still have the historic preservation part of it. You still need the wetlands one, but yeah, I just kind of wonder because they're keeping other people in there. That's also why there's such an increase in cost. Gina did state that from her experience too, is that they tend to like nickel and dime things. So, again, like, not that that won't be the cut, just where the costs add up also. There is a reimbursable expense here for mileage. And there's been too, and that's not. Yeah. No way, but I really read some of it. Now I'm trying to figure out why is it in the. They have one more staff on here, but that really reads.
And they do have a market time.
Yeah, they do, yeah, so. Yeah, because they have like a lot of stuff in-house, and I think because they are, sounds like they are bigger and they have just more resources to pull from, I think that's why they're able to probably keep the concepts. They've just kind of streamlined it. CHI.
They have all those people.
Yeah, and when we were interviewing them, and they have a lot of offices throughout. And so basically, if they don't have someone that can do a certain thing here, they have someone they can just call and like, you know.
So
Put their input in.
when I spoke with the gentleman from Portlandville,
Yeah.
Who's now retired, that was his big thing, was that if, I forget the lady's name they were working with, but if they had anything or any question, she's right there, you know, that was like his big thing, is that, you know, she was just a phone call away.
And-
Just right there.
And we did hear that responsiveness with EDR was not obviously like this. Okay, so we're still here. Are we ready to vote on CHA? No. All in favor for CHA?
Janelle, what do you think?
I'll say yes.
Okay. Okay, and well, it's. Yeah. Cool. So then, so then you have to bring this to the board, right? Do we need, any of us need to be there?
The 25th.
Yeah.
That's Friday. Yeah.
That's Friday.
I'm just.
Halloween is next week, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no one's had any.
Birthdays on.
I mean, basically, the big reason.
What? Yeah, and this is what they specialize in. I'm not sure.
The canvas work labs, you know, start taking part of the exact session.
Craig is fine with that.
It's still a common library.
No, they were both fantastic, but it's just kind of like.
Yeah.
Are you the ones trying to do that for Salesforce?
Well, he totally discovered it. I'm not on that project, but I think like.
This template thing?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to just move to end the meeting?
I moved to end the meeting.
It's like.
Yeah.
Go home. Yeah, we were trying to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be redoing the job description and posting it.